Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Today, we are continuing our journey along the perimeter of the Macritchie Reservoir, and we're going to see what we can find. So join me after the intro as I explore Macritchie Reservoir and the Central Catchment Reservoir area. Welcome back. In the previous video, we were actually along the Macritchie Broadwalk. We actually walked all the way, and now we're actually going onto the Jering Broadwalk, which is a much shorter broadwalk, but with views just as good. As you can see here. And as we go further along down the broadwalk, we are actually going further into the nature reserve. And once you do that, you'll be able to interact more with the natural fauna of the park. And if you actually hear, you can actually start to hear more birds chirping and singing in the background. And if you actually look at the water itself is still very nice and clear. Look at that. So let's just keep walking and let's just see what friends and what neighbors that we can encounter along our walk into the nature reserve. Where we are finally heading to is we're heading to the Central Catchment Nature Reserve, which is actually the green lung of Singapore, which is situated right in the center of Singapore. So the whole Central Catchment Nature Reserve occupies over 2,000 hectares of forest, and it has some of the richest forests in terms of biodiversity. And in this nature reserve itself, you can see some of the remains of the original primary forest cover that used to cover the whole of Singapore before human settlements developed here. And an even rarer sight you can actually find here is the primary freshwater swamp forest. And if you look ahead, look at that. What do you see there? It's actually a monitor lizard. And it's huge. It's one of the biggest monitor lizard I've ever seen. I think it's because if you leave the monitor lizard alone, let it roam freely, let them eat what they want, they actually can grow to quite a huge size. And this one is quite big. Look at that. Its body itself is almost the width of the broadwalk, and now it's hiding from me, hiding under the broadwalk. Let's just have a closer look and let's see. Well, maybe not too close. What we'll do is we will just walk over them. Anyway, we are reaching the end of the Jering Broadwalk. Like I told you, it's a very short broadwalk. Anyway, the broadwalk ends here because past those bushes there is actually Singapore Island Country Club, and we're going to go skirt around the country club to head to the other part of the park. But that's not the end of our adventure yet. We're going to go up this trail here. Anyway, we actually walked up from down there. Okay. And towards here is where all the forest is. And we're going to continue walking up this direction. Yes. So now we're actually walking along a forest trail that actually is skirting the country club itself. The country club itself is on the left here. And then we're going to keep heading that direction. And as we can see further ahead, this is the reason why people tell you not to actually walk in the forest during heavy thunderstorms, because this happens. Look at this huge tree that the branch actually, the limb or look at that. The whole thing collapsed. And I suspect it collapses because of this. If you look at the bark here, look at the trunk, they are actually termites. So I guess termites actually weaken the structure of the tree so much that when there were heavy winds, the tree just broke. Luckily it fell the other way. And look what I found. I found a lizard. Look at that. There it is. Can you see that? It was moving. It's now trying to hide itself under the leaves. Or not actually under, the leaves. Let's see whether I can get a better angle. Oh, look at that. It's actually reddish at the bottom. At the side there's actually a red streak. Look at that. Interesting. Okay, let's see what we can find next. Let's continue heading down. More trees. Yes, we came from that direction. That's where the lizard was. And here we are. We are at the golf course of the country club. So we will have to skirt the side of the country club, the golf course itself, to reach the next part of our journey. And we can still see the reservoir from here. Macritchie Reservoir. And this is Singapore Island Country Club, or at least the golf course of the country club. As we're walking here, I've noticed there's actually these trees here, and if you look at the leaves of the trees, they are actually like pine needles. And this tree itself is actually related, or is a subspecies of the pine tree, which is called the casuarina tree. And this tree itself grows in the tropics and commonly found in Southeast Asia in the coastal regions. And we just keep walking and enjoying the view of the reservoir, and just keep walking on this pathway here. This pathway will lead us to the outskirts of the golf course and bring us back to the other parts of the nature reserve. Look, it looks like a bird, a heron, or maybe a egret. I don't know, I'm not very sure what our bird it is, but I scared it off and it's now flying away. Look at that. It's just flying just above the water so that it can get to the other side. So maybe a joke before we continue. Why did the bird flew over the reservoir? Well, because it was excited that someone was taking a picture of it. And as we continue here, look at the way the water is actually reflecting the clouds. Looks quite nice, isn't it? And this is still the water's edge of the Macritchie Reservoir, and we are reaching another edge of the reservoir itself. Right in front of us is one of the circumferences, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into the nature reserve, and then we're going to explore what we can find in there. There's actually a track that actually takes you all around, all the way back to where we came from. But look, there's actually what you call this, a dam that is probably not functioning anymore. But this place is quite old, as you can see from the bricks itself. This was probably the original dam that actually blocked the water flow, and this could be one of the rivers that actually feeds the reservoir itself, feeds water to the reservoir. Look at that. It's a very old dam that is no longer working. And this looks like quite a substantial river. Anyway, we're going to continue to the nature reserve, but unfortunately that would be in the next video, where we'll explore and see what we can find in the nature reserve itself. So please join me next week for that video. And thank you very much for joining me for this adventure. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Please assist me by liking my video, sharing it, and subscribing. And lastly, the most important thing, what you must do, what you need to get your friends to. Oh look, another lizard. Anyway, as I was saying, what you need to do is to join me for my next adventure. Look at the lizard going away. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and bye bye.